Journalists are often a fly on the wall, recording, as they say, the first history of, or history's first draft, I should say. It's a job that requires one to always be on call. This is 24 hours a day, and this can be a toll on one's mental health. Well, this Workers' Day, we speak to journalists about the work that they do and indeed the challenges they face. Well, and the Deputy Political Editor of News24, and that is Bongekile Macupe, has been at it for more than a decade now and says with all that it comes with, she wouldn't be doing anything else. Here's Newzroom Afrika's Zikhona Tshona with that report.
I grew up a very curious child, right? I've always been an enterprise journalist. I'll go and get my stories. I wasn't fed stories. I don't think there can be anyone who can claim that they made me as a journalist. I literally built my career. Pay is a struggle, you know. You'll find someone who's been a journalist for like 12, 13 years and they don't even earn 30,000. So those are things that people don't know about our profession. And my name is Bongekile Macupe. I am the Deputy Politics Editor here at News24. When I was in high school or matric, when you should by now know the direction where your life is taken, I didn't actually know what I wanted to study. And then my very close friend at the time wanted to study journalism, and I just was like, okay, in grade 11, I was also just like, okay, I'm going to study journalism. I didn't know what it entailed. And then I remember my former high school teacher, Mr. Neko, who since died, saying to me, oh my God, why would you want to be a journalist? You are going to be poor. Journalists are poorer than teachers. Then matric, I applied to study journalism at PE Technicon, which is now Nelson Mandela University. My first year was horrible. I wanted to drop out because there were just a whole lot of challenges, considering the fact that I had studied in the township all my life. It was the first time encountering a computer. As I settled in, I was like, actually, this thing suits me, and it suits my character. For the bulk of my career, I have been an education journalist. Oh, education journalism, I loved it so much. I loved it so much because for me, everything, I just feel like education is the foundation of everything, right? And I was just like at the center of covering the story of children who were in Limpopo, who had been fed a feeding scheme that had glass, you know. So I did those stories, going to Kuruman, covering a story of how children were prevented from going to school for months because the community was protesting for a road. I covered a story in Piri, in Soweto, of a family whose shack burned down, and I think 2 children who died in that shack burning down, and then there was a boy who survived. The way that story touched me so much, I can't even remember how much I was earning at the time, but I remember going and buying that boy a shirt and trousers and, you know, some school supplies. I don't think we cope. It's just that you just keep on going. You just keep on going. But the danger is that in the going and going, you are eventually going to reach a point where you just crash. Because I think the industry that we work in doesn't allow you to rest, or doesn't allow you to take a step back. Mental health is one of those things that you kind of like speak about, but sometimes in practice, this profession doesn't allow you to take stock of what is happening and regroup and then start again. But like I was saying, I've been so fortunate that I work in a newsroom that really prioritizes mental health. I'm unlearning a lot of things, and I'm learning other things to prioritize my own mental health, to prioritize the mental health of the people that I work with, because I understand that when I do that, I'm going to be a better manager, I'm going to be a better colleague, I'm also going to be a better mother to my children. Journalism is so important because I think without this profession, a lot could go wrong in the world. You know, already the world is messy, but I think having people that can hold you accountable is so important. We've seen in our country how the work of journalists has led to the Zondo Commission. We are also workers. We also have others. We have struggles in the industry, you know, where, you know, women, particularly black women, are leaving the newsrooms. You know, there are newsrooms where black women cannot thrive. We have injustices in newsrooms where people are not getting the pay that they deserve. So those are also our struggles as workers, you know. So I think those are also the things that need to be highlighted about our own industry. As much as other workers out there have struggles, journalists also have their own struggles.